and Randy Moss, without even really being able to run, as he shoots the moon to the
pass, pumps to the left, 8 seconds left. He gets away from the pressure, fires to the end zone. It's caught! It's Greg Lewis! Oh my heavens! Greg Lewis's first catch has given the Minnesota.
Four, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, what's up, Skull Nation? Welcome into another episode of House Calls brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. We're here with my guy, Dave. Dave, we lost a tough one, my friend. How you feeling off the loss?
I mean, it stung a little bit. I felt great for the fact that we came back and took the lead. And that's something we never had to do before in the second half like that. So I feel like we can do it. Now, I wish we had one of those drives like we've had to finish games before, but we didn't have it this time and went 3 and out, gave them plenty of opportunity to come down and kick a field goal. So that was disappointing. I want 2 halves of football. I do feel like that we played. This is probably one of the better second halves we played. So that was good because previous games, giving up leads and stuff like that, we didn't look that great in the second half. But this time, the second half actually looked better. So I took some positives out of that. We still control our own destiny. We went out. We're the division champs, right? You know, we got the. We beat Detroit. We go 16-1, and we're division champs for sure. So we still got that going for us, which is nice.
Hell yeah, man. So I agree with you. Always upsetting to lose, especially in your own stadium. But the Detroit Lions are the class of the NFC. They're the best team in the NFC, hands down, right now. And that offense is a freaking machine, dude. The ball does not hit the ground. It's crazy. I mean, Jared Goff, his first incompletion came late with
like
a tip ball. And it's the same thing against the Seahawks. He was 18 of 18 against the Seahawks with multiple touchdowns, had a reception touchdown in that game. The ball doesn't hit the ground. Jared Goff plays on time. He's incredibly accurate. He's a hell of a quarterback behind that awesome offensive line. And hats off to the Detroit Lions. That's a good football team. And you know what's impressive is they operate in that noisy environment. They're damn good at it. You know what I mean? I mean, hats off to the Minnesota Vikings fans who went to that game. We heard you on TV. We know that you gave it your all. You were loud. You were passionate. But against a team like that with that much confidence up front in the offensive line, they are able to communicate on the silent count. Jared Goff is able to do his thing. There's only so much that we're going to be able to do sometimes to affect that, and it's up to our defense to step up and stop them sometimes. And that was kind of the story of the game from our defensive. It's just too many explosive plays that hurt us. But I agree with you. Vikings jump out to a 10-0 lead after Dan Campbell's doing his thing where he's almost too aggressive. First drive, going for it in his own 40 with a fake punt. Vikings make him pay right away. Great start to the ball game. And then before you know it, Detroit's up, was it 21-10, 11-point lead on us. And like you said, the offense for the Vikings just disappeared. And up to that point, they have played the second half of the Packers game was poor from the offensive standpoint. The entire Jets game was poor from an offensive standpoint. And the first half of this game was poor. But to your point, the second half of this game, it's like they woke up, right? Mm-hmm. And that was good to see. And I'm hoping that they can carry that forward into the Rams game this Thursday in LA. And that's an environment where you're not really going to have – it doesn't really get rowdy there. In fact, it could even be like a 50-50 crowd in LA for us. So I don't think that the offense is going to be rattled by any means. But I agree with you 100%. The loss does not bother me at all. If anything, it shows me that we are right there with the class of the NFC. And it makes me think about the trade deadline. We might we might be pulling that trigger and getting one more guy in here on defense to maybe stuff up that middle, maybe get a penetrating defensive tackle in the middle, which I think can take this defense to the next level.
Yeah, you got to give a shout out to Jared Goff, and I know he was crapped on a lot previously, and especially his first year with the Lions. And I know I had Micro Mike on when my first year YouTube or second year of YouTube. I forget when I brought him on, but big Detroit YouTuber, got like 70 some thousand followers now. He's amazing. Next big thing, and he was talking about how the fans were split and they didn't want Jared Goff, and he had like a Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins following. One group liked him, or a Justin Fields. One group liked him, one group didn't. And now he says it's just everybody's in on Jared Goff. Like everybody's united on Jared Goff, and the reason is because he is a good quarterback, and the Rams could have won one with him. I have no doubt about it. He does something. He has a sixth sense about getting the ball off in the blitz. Like you said, the ball doesn't touch the ground. That was perfect. What you said there. That's what it seemed like, right? And Jared Goff makes it happen, and we didn't get to him the first half. I think we got to him more the second half, which is great. We just changed the way we did it. But he goes with accuracy. He handles the pressure, throws it where they ain't or where they're coming from. He knows where his guys are going to be. He knows where the chess pieces are. Great quarterback. I don't know why he's not more mentioned as MVP candidate.
Yeah, he should be. He really should be.
No doubt in my mind that he could be the MVP candidate. One of the top 5 this year for sure.
One of my favorite plays from this game from Goff was that crazy catch that Montgomery made.
Oh, that was nuts.
So
Montgomery, Jesus.
So Goff is not looking at Montgomery at all, but he knows based on the defensive blitz that he's got a man out to his left in the flat, and he knows that the defense is not over there. And so he almost does a no-look type pass just to get it out there. And Monty made an incredible one-handed catch, grabs it on his helmet, is able to switch it to his other hand. Just incredible catch. But yeah, a lot of respect for Jared Goff. To your point, he did get crapped on by everybody, by Rams fans, by NFC North fans, by half of the Detroit Lions fans up until last year when Dan Campbell said, Jared Goff, you are good enough for Detroit. I feel like that really bought into the rest of the crowd who wasn't behind him. But I mean, yes, he's one of those guys that needs a supporting cast to be good in the NFL. But guess what? Mostly everybody in the NFL is, right? I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes right now with his terrible supporting cast. He's not putting up great numbers. He's winning because he's a great quarterback and he's getting it done in clutch moments. But I mean, that's just the name of the game, man. You need help in this league.
Yeah, I have had no problem with Jared Goff. Even with his first year at the Lions, I still saw some in him, and then last year I thought, yeah, he's legit and the right guy, and they gave him the bag, and I'm like, and there is for a reason, and sure, I think it might have to do with an OC bringing that out in him, much like Kevin O'Connell did for Cousins. What he did for our other backup quarterbacks, and then what he's doing for Sam Darnold this year. You could tell the difference between Jared Goff having eyes in the back of his head and Sam Darnold missing a few open guys that were there, and he made, I think, the wrong read or didn't see it. And there was 2 plays in the first half, and we talked about it off air, that when he made that run, there was a wide open Jalen Naylor breaking free while he was still in the pocket. Even when he stepped up, there was probably still room to throw it. He went for 19 yards, got a first down. Great. Everybody's happy. We got a mobile quarterback. Yay. Well, if he just stayed in the pocket and thrown the ball, he might have had a touchdown. And then a second when the pick, you and me saw it. We talked about how we instantly saw it because the game angle, I think, was from behind, that Aaron Jones was out just ran out to the side, and the receivers were clearing out the corner and the safety to where he had just all day to run. He could have took that to the house. Maybe that safety gets back into play, but he would be one-on-one with them. And instead he throws a pick, and then they go back the other way and score.
Yep.
So that those two, I think, the pick more than anything hurt us, made it a big deficit. So yeah, those are things, but I think Sam Darnold's smart enough and a good enough student of the game to where Kevin O'Connell will put him aside. There was a play, it was a small play, but probably went unnoticed to a lot of people, where we're 3rd and like 6, and we're down 8, and we're driving. We're deep in their territory, and Jordan Addison does a little in hook route.
Yeah. Little spot route.
Maybe 2 yards short of the sticks, but he had space. If he makes that play, either we get the first down, or we're closer to where we could go for it on 4th down. Now, mind you, turns out, we kick a field goal, then we punch out the then we get the defensive touchdown. So all's forgotten. But you saw him and O'Connell on the sideline immediately after that. O'Connell's talking to him about it.
Right.
That was the guy was open. He's looking straight at him and doesn't pull the trigger, and he's the only guy open. So those are like 3 plays there. But honestly, I felt great that he stepped up the second half and turned the game around. He got better throughout the game, and the second game, I think even Kevin O'Connell said he played a great game. More so the second half, but I felt good that he came out and played a lot better that second half.
Yeah, I agree, and the defense too played a lot better in that second half
right.
as well. I mean, the team in general just played a lot better in the second half. They did not quit. They fought against the
11-point deficits, mind you. We gave another touchdown back, and we still came back and won, which was great.
Yep. Another thing to talk about is Will the Thrill Reichert. He's for real. He's probably the best kicker we've had since Ryan Longwell. I mean, he's nailed.
But with distance, I mean, we got Longwell at the end of his career, right?
Yeah,
he was a 52, and that was his max.
Yeah, I mean, this kid is just fantastic. I don't even worry. I mean, when I watch, and honestly, when he has his first miss, and he will miss one this year, we shouldn't worry. Like, it's going to happen. Kickers miss, but he's been fantastic. He's been a hell of a draft pick. I've never really bought into the draft analysts who say don't draft specialists, because this worked out pretty damn well so far. And if you have your kicker for the next 10 years, then that was a hell of a pick at that point in the draft. So just feels good, man, knowing that we got our kicker.
Yeah. Carlson would have been, if we figured out Carlson instead of letting him go, that would have been nice. But honestly, this is it was worth the wait.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is worth the wait. I hate drafting punters and kickers. I hate it. I'm that guy you're probably talking about. I'm not an analyst though, but I'm probably that guy that's like, God, we could have got this guy. We could have did this guy. Oh, we got a kicker. Great. Oh, and now I'm like, yeah, thank God they chose the kicker. He's a fan favorite. He's just ice in his veins. I always thought that, hey, it's the holder that's kicker. And I've had Greg Colin on here, and he talked about how important it was to have that unity between those 3 guys. And I don't think it matters with Reichert. I think it laces out. Screw it, laces anywhere. I don't care. I feel like that's the type of guy he is. It just, and he's got that innocent swag about him. Like I don't know. It's just the look on his face, everything about him. He just doesn't look like football player, but he's a football player. That's how I feel about him.
Leading scorer in NCAA history. I mean,
it's crazy.
Pretty cool. Let's talk about this. So Ed Ingram is the lowest graded offensive player once again for the Minnesota Vikings PFF grading, with 2 big penalties, pressure, sack allowed this week. And it's just the same story every single week. The kid's not getting better. I feel like he's had enough time to show growth, to improve. But in a season like this, when every game matters and you have a chance for that number 1 seed, I think you got to sit him. And Dalton Reisner is logged 2 full practices now this week. Well, it was an estimated practice. They didn't actually practice. Then it was a walkthrough, but they're indicating to you that he's healthy at this point in time. Dave, would you make that switch? Would you start Reisner over Ed Ingram?
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Do I think Kevin O'Connell's capable of making that decision? His track record on making, decisive, let's do it right now on a Thursday night. I don't know. I don't know if he is. But he should.
Yeah,
he should. I wanted Bradbury, not Bradbury. I wanted damn it, our left guard, Brandel, sorry, I know it was B. I wanted Brandel to take over him preseason last year. So yeah, I definitely been wanting him gone on the bench. Sure, he's good to have as a backup right now. Sure. I would take, with the type of running back we have in Aaron Jones, who can make his own way. I'm cool with giving up any type of run blocking edge that Brandel could do in pass protection. He's special in pass protection. What's that?
You said Brandel. Did you mean Reisner?
I say Brandel. I meant, well, Brandel's good too, but yeah, you know what I meant.
I agree. Dalton Reisner's a brick
yeah.
freaking wall as a pass protector. It was great to see him. Again, his run blocking, he just can't get to the second level. He's not quick enough.
When we signed him, when I decided to just Google Reisner highlights, and he had a fucking 16-minute montage of blocking that I thought was absolutely incredible. And I thought he got to the second level. He doesn't quit. He's down the field. Just like that, when he did that, he's the guy down the field that's picking up a guy.
Yeah.
Right? Picking him up off the pile, or he does that freaking karate kick.
The kick. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Down the field. He does that shit. He was doing that all in that video.
He's having fun.
I'm like, I'm not worried about this guy, but what made him special was this independent hands he's got going on with, if someone chops it down, he picks up the other hand, brings the chopped hand back up. He can do that. Ed Ingram cannot.
Nope.
He does not do that. It's two-hand punch every time. And although I felt like he was getting better on picking up, blitz it, picking up stunts. I mean, or twists, stuff like that. I just know Dalton Reisner's so much better at it that he would improve this team instantly. I think, with the pass blocking, if he's healthy, right?
And it's important. Sam Darnold's a guy that needs a clean pocket, and there's been times with Ingram where he's got, he gets beat quick, and that's a big deal. And I think that this would be a great time to make that switch, because this is really the first bad defense that we're about to play in the LA Rams. We've played a bunch of good defenses so far this year. So I'm excited to see how the offense can perform on Thursday. I think they have a chance to put up some numbers.
Yeah, and I was really happy that Aaron Jones came back and just looked awesome. I keep that shit up. I thought there was a couple really good throws of Sam Darnold. One was the Jalen Naylor, like over a guy, before a guy, threw it high, let him go up and get it. Naylor stepped up. Addison, with the big play. The thing, we have with Sam Darnold, he is capable of the big play. We know this, and he continues to show it with that throw with Jordan Addison. So we got so many weapons. We just got to get it in their hands. But it really, really feels good when we got that running game going. It feels like this offense could really blow up. And I think this is probably one of our better games. This last game was probably our better games with how many yards we had. We just needed to be more consistent middle of that game, or second quarter, or late first quarter, middle, the whole second. We did look better in the second half, but it's just got to be consistent. That has a lot to do with Kevin O'Connell, man. What can you do to just make your offense consistent like it was against the Texans? It's, people talk about, oh, I'm so glad we're done with one score games. No, it's Kevin O'Connell. He's got to get consistent that whole game. He's got to somehow get the offense rolling all the time. and I think it does. I think he's a great coordinator. I think he gets a lot out of everybody, but we're still not rolling the entire game. I just think he's got to do something. He's got to do something to keep that consistency.
Yeah, I mean it's the NFL. The defensive guys are paid
Oh
too,
yeah, that's
so
true.
we've played a lot of good defenses. But I understand what your criticism is, and I want the same thing. I want consistency. Um, remember, this
I
is
do
Sam
lean
Darnold.
this game, the last game, and maybe this first half still a little on Sam Darnold because he did
Yeah,
miss
I
those two
agree.
plays I talked about, and
Yeah,
then the Jets game he missed a lot of guys
looking
that
at
were
our
open.
next 4 games: the Rams, the Colts, the Jaguars, the Titans. We should see an offense that's more consistent and that's just putting up better numbers and playing, fuller games and not taking a whole quarter off, because I don't think these defenses are going to be able to hang with the Vikings, especially with TJ Hawkinson coming back potentially Thursday. If not Thursday, then definitely Sunday night against the Colts, which uh, good news. They flexed the Colts game. That's pretty cool. So we get another primetime game.
It sucks for me because I went and bought fucking NFL ticket, and now they're taking the game away from me, and I don't have cable, so now I
Oh,
gotta
you
go.
don't have cable. Yeah.
I cut the cord, man. So I got YouTube, I got YouTube, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get to watch all these games, and then go flex the indie
Yeah.
game.
Did you
I'm like,
see
it's
there
indie.
was a did you see there was an NFL player who on Instagram posted that he was watching the game on one of those like restricted sites or whatever, one of those streaming sites,
Yeah.
and then it went viral and somebody's like, "Look at this NFL player makes this amount of money and he's watching these streams," and then the NFL player responded, he goes, "Hey, if it's free, it's good for me." You know what I mean? So just use
Oh
one of
wow.
those backdoor streaming websites and watch the Vikings that
I
night.
know. I mean, what's it on Thursday night?
Thursdays is prime.
Oh shit, I have it. Okay, I can watch it.
Yes, you got this. Yeah, you got this Thursday night game, but it's the
I'll have this
Colts.
Thursday night game. I just won't be streaming during it because I'll be watching it in my bedroom.
Right.
But yeah, I can watch it on Prime then.
Well, we're not going to have another opportunity to talk about that Colts game before Thursday. So, what are just your thoughts on the matchup and I guess your level of confidence the Vikings are going to come out with a win? Right now, only 3-point favorites. I like them to hammer that. I will take
I
the
mean the
Vikings.
Rams?
No, yeah. What did I say? The
You
Colts.
said the Colts.
Oh, so the Vikings play the Rams on Thursday night this week. The Vikings are 3-point favorites. I like the Vikings to win by probably 10 points, if maybe more. I just think that the defense can get through this bad Rams offensive line, get to Stafford, make him to force some mistakes, probably shut down the run game of Kyron Williams. I don't think that they're going to be able to run the ball like the Lions did against the Vikings. They do have Cooper Kupp coming back, which I think he's going to get his yards. He may even score a touchdown, but at the end of the day, their offense is going to consist of essentially Cooper Kupp and Kyron Williams. So I think the Vikings will get it done.
Yeah, one of the things you might go unnoticed is that, well, Kevin O'Connell was his coach when they won the Super Bowl, and there was a time there where they didn't win a game in a month. They lost 3 straight in a bye, and they. I remember when Judd on Purple Daily asked it, well, don't you think if Cousins would throw a little more interceptions? I'm like, well, I don't know about that, Judd. We had a quarterback that was throwing a lot of picks, and we didn't win 3 games in the entire month of October. And when we fixed that, and then won the Super Bowl. So I don't know about throwing more picks as the answer. Every time I think about that, that reminds me of that interview when his first interview on Purple Daily, and I'm like, yeah, Kevin O'Connell knows Stafford, and I think that we could definitely game plan for him. We got a little bit of an advantage there, I think, because we coached him. And if we remember on the days of Detroit, he did make mistakes. He did throw interceptions. I think he had 17 the year he won the Super Bowl. He's prone to them. We can get after him, like you said, in offensive line and all that. But yeah, I think we got the advantage there. Kevin O'Connell knows him like the back of the hand, and we can game plan for him for sure. And the way we've been turning the ball and getting them turnovers, yeah, I have no qualms about us beating them like by 10 as you're talking.
Yeah, if I had to pick a score, I like the Vikings to pop off probably 28, Rams like 17, something like that.
Putting Will Riker in the corner. How do you put Will Riker in the corner?
Put them in the
28.
corner. Yeah,
No field goals. We're not gonna let Will Riker rip
it's bad
one.
defense, dude. It's bad defense.
Okay, so yeah, 28. Okay, I'm gonna give us at least one touchdown or one field goal, so 31. I'll get
31.
31.
There you go.
I'll go 31-17.
Yeah, so we both like the Rams to score less than 21. Yeah. Anything else that you want to talk about before the Rams game Thursday?
So what Turf Toe? Talk to me about Turf Toe because we really need Cashman.
Yeah, so he's out this game. He's did not practice the last two simulated practices, so he will not be back this week. Hopeful he'll be back the next week though. So he should be back for the Colts game. So turf toe is a sprain of the ligament on the bottom of your big toe joint, and it's very painful when you try to extend your big toe, basically run and do anything forceful off your big toe. It's incredibly painful, and you need to splint that big toe joint for 2 to 4 weeks to allow that to heal. Now, he will be able to come back most likely after this game with a steel shank in his shoe that stops his toe from bending as much. It will still hurt, but he'll be able to play through that at least at that point. They may give him a lidocaine shot as well just to numb that area up for the game. But yeah, so if you watch the receiver documentary, Amon-Ra St. Brown was fighting turf toe. It's incredibly painful. It's very common in the NFL. It's caused from hyper extension of that joint, which just happens with tackling people and diving around and whatnot. But it is something that he will come back from and he'll play at a high level from. It's just going to take a little bit more time to let the swelling and the pain calm down.
That's good. Now you and I talked about this, TJ Hawkinson. I felt like he was going to be 50-50 for this game. Well, I guess we'll know more maybe tomorrow, but what do you think?
In terms of his recovery, he's ready. I mean, he's met every milestone. He's passed every test. It's just, what do the Vikings think? What are they thinking in terms of their risk or whatnot? I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that they just didn't want him to. They didn't want to put him out there against the same guy that busted his knee last year. I think
psychologically.
I think it's simple as that. Yeah, I think it's just that they didn't want him to play against Kirby and potentially get him hurt again against the Lions. So, and I think part of it is a schedule thing too, where if he doesn't play on Thursday, he has that extra mini bye to come back and play against the Colts. But it's pretty much dictated by the rules of the IR that he has to come back for the Colts game. So if he misses this Thursday, he will be back for the following game.
What do you feel like he would bring to this team? I mean, it's been, Johnny Munt's been, he got a Ty Chandler hugged a guy, breaking, calling back a big play by Johnny Munt. He's been admirably playing well for us. But what do you feel like TJ Hawkinson brings to this offense?
Yeah, it's like we forgot, right? Because we haven't seen him in a while, but he's incredibly fast for a tight end. He's got huge, reliable hands. He's excellent in the contested catch. He's a great red zone target. And he's going to stabilize the underneath middle of the field in those plays where Sam Darnold just needs that guy to bail him out. And there's a couple plays, I think Munt had like 4 catches for 8 yards or something in this game, but there was a couple plays where if TJ made that catch, he was outrunning the linebacker where Munt just doesn't have that speed, right? So I think he's going to make a huge deal. The question I have is he going to be 100% TJ Hawkinson for the first couple of games? I don't think so. He's probably going to be somewhere about 75%, 80% TJ Hawkinson from what we remember as he gets acclimated again to the NFL and taking hits and everything. And they'll probably limit his snap count just a little bit for a couple of games. But come time, 4 weeks, 5 weeks from now, I think he's going to be back to his old self.
Yeah, I could see Russ being there and honestly catching the ball, being timid that way. I don't know if he's gonna be any slower. I guess they were like measuring him, like they put that how fast you're doing, and And I think he's before, like the before and after the injury, I guess has been pretty on par. He talked about how he wanted to do this many hundreds of yards of practice because they measure that. I guess science behind all this and measuring what kind of work you need to get in and stuff like that. I guess he's been on par with other players, and his pre-injury as far as speed goes. So that's great. I always think it kind of falls into the fact that you haven't caught a ball in a regular game in a while. You didn't have a preseason. I think that is a big difference. And I don't know if you remember last year, early in the year, he was dropping some shit
Yeah.
and he was in the fumbles and stuff like that. I
We
don't know if
lost the Chargers game because of a drop that he had, went right into a Chargers defender
yeah.
for an interception.
So, and he settled down the rest of the year, but coming back, being a little rusty from the off season, they didn't do any preseason work like last year, and then he comes in and then we stumble out of the gate, right? Yeah, I just think that might be where it hurts a little bit. So that's what I worried about. I don't feel like I feel like the speed's going to be there. I think the endurance is going to be there. I'm worried about he hasn't caught anything in traffic in a while. So that's where I'm at.
I'll take a 75% TJ Hawkinson over
Yeah.
100% Johnny Mutt. So
yeah, that would only make him like the 5th best tight end.
Yeah, right. I mean, he was literally the best tight end in football last year before he got hurt. He was on track for the most completions, most reception yards. So I'm excited to get him back. It's gonna be fun, and to finally see the full potential of this offense. If they move on from Ed Ingram at right guard, get it done.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp's back, and Puka Nacua limited practice. I don't think he plays.
Nakua's not going to play. I think they're eyeing the following week for him. He's still technically on IR, I believe. Is he not?
I don't know. He just says limited. I'm looking at the injury report. Just says limited practice. Troy Reader, huh? Did not practice. He's on their team. That's a name that we're familiar with. But yeah, I think this is. I wish we would have faced him without Cooper Kupp. That would have been nice. I thought it would have been like a huge walk in the park if that's
like
the
the
case.
Bears and the Packers both got to. You know what I mean? When you your opponents catch them at their weakest point, and then you get them when they're a little bit stronger. That always,
it's a Viking thing to happen.
It's a Viking thing to happen, but
as long as they don't play a backup quarterback on Thursday, we'll be all right.
Yeah. All right, Skull Nation. Well, good luck. Have fun Thursday night. We're all going to be rooting on the purple. Skull, everybody.
Skull Vikes.